Hmm? Yes! Yes!
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them, too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Renan succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Renan.
It seems like Belt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Dahnans?
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed, the effects of Lenegis's transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
Seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganath Haros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces. and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Renan, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Dahnan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Xion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
What's this thing? There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former Lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahnan already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnagan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dahnan, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe. I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Did we really just spend that much money?
Damn it! Lenegis soldiers!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elder Menantia. I command you.
Threat to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
You're wide open!
Razor Cyclones!
I'm just getting started! Support! Dragon down! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Not today!
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Be still!
A wailing fancy of lightning! Shall never miss!
Attack time!
A whirling storm!
Armor won't save you!
Here's a healing!
Hey! Blow them away!
I'll heal you all! Not on my watch! Healing
A whirling struggle! I'm just getting started!
now!
Yukara, I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
In a bind?
These ones can run rings around us! I'm evading this one!
Sonic thrust!
We naturally
Too fast!
Stand back! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Here's a healing arc!
Be still!
Spot!
None shall escape my judgment! I'm prison!
It's go time!
Ray!
Azure Storm!
I'll smash you! I'll finish you here and now!
Lightning
Eternal
Take
devastation!
Here I
this!
go! One more! Vanquish darkness!
Savage Roar! Demon Fang! Savage Roar!
This is in the sky is mine! Lightning condemned!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Vanquish darkness!
Azure Storm!
Calaglian hurricane!
Demon Fang!
Retreat!
Finish it!
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this. Go no further! Here's evil! Raging cascade! Savage roar! Freeze blaster! Air thrust!
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Roll now! Lightning!
Ready and ready!
Let me help!
Now you see what I can do!
A chain between
This
heaven
one
and earth!
keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
A chain between heaven and earth!
You're one Shockwave Slash!
Healing circle!
I owe you one!
In a vine,
Demon Fang!
I'm on a roll
Demon
now!
Fang!
Air thrust! A whirling radiant pierce! Winds of heaven!
Anything normal is all mine! Now you see what I can do!
Magic in the sky!
Annihilation!
Annihilation!
Phoenix!
Too slow!
Moving celestial!
Leave the charges to me.
Take this!
Radiant ray!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Not today!
It's time to finish this! Dive! Consuming wildfire!
Here's a healing
This
arc!
should do it!
Freezing!
I owe you one!
Forward up! Light and radiant cascade!
Sword Lane
A
Alpha!
whirling struggle!
Move away!
Winds of heaven!
Where are you going?
Sleep now! More for the stockpile! Annihilation!
Ready and ready!
Reload!
I can carve through armor! Take this!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Swallow Blade! Inferno Torrent!
Damn it!
It's the closest
Don't
things
give
come
up.
to an end.
Annihilation! More where that came from!
These fists have got your name on them!
Burning!
Far enough!
I'll bring you back from death to this!
Raging cascade! Resuscitation!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
You're definitely way stronger.
Yeah, nothing motivates you like having...
No backing down!
I see one, eh?
Dreams!
Bombardment!
Water! Thunderblast! You want that all night! Leaving me no choice!
Engaging!
Fire support! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Take it! Into the shadows!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! Bubble to me!
Magic is there!
Where are you going?
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Here's a healing arc!
You're mine!
No further!
Lightning orb!
Roll now!
Magic is there!
Do it! Demons descend! Flashing fang! We can really make weapons with this?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Stand between heaven and earth!
A showdown between blade and fist!
Now you'll learn!
A whirling struggle! Winds of heaven!
Now I'm in the groove!
Do it!
Goodwill! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Coming render! There! Into the shadows! Arc Speed! Back into the fray!
I'll
Annihilation!
finish you here and now!
Radiant
Demon
Blood!
Fang!
Wind Astral Energy!
Nicely done. Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Go no further!
This one's mine!
Celestial ladder! Ice prison! I think I'll pass on the handshake. That'll bring you down.
This should do it!
You're mine!
Blow away! Eternal devastation! Double demon fang!
Eat that!
I'm just getting started! I'll smash you!
Sonic Truck! Try this!
Now I'm real mad!
There!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Will this help?
Rising Wyvern!
Healing Disco!
Too slow!
You picked the wrong fight!
Glacier Spear! Pierce evil!
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Get out of this!
Double Demon
You're
Fang!
wide open! Almost! You're wide open! Showtime!
Mirage!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
This should do it!
Not as well escaping my center!
This
A
one's
wailing
mine!
Dynasty of Lightning! Ray! Divine Savior! Magic Kazam! Air Thrust! Burning Strike!
I can carve through
Azure
walls!
Storm! Teamed up!
I'm on it! You're wide open!
Yukara, I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
It was a close thing.
Ow!
Let me
Bring
help!
him down!
Not on my watch!
Done it!
Radiant Storm!
Take
More
this!
Lunar Corruption!
Watch it!
How long are we gonna keep this up like this?
Fall back! Fire support!
Demon Fang!
Release!
Winds of heaven!
This one's mine!
That freaking does it!
Saving this one! Healing
Ferocious
Shelter!
Fury!
That's spot! Do it! Rimworld! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Jump it! Jesus!
Pieces!
My judgment!
Finish it!
Rimworld! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing Dynasty of
See what
Lightning!
happened there as you crossed me.
Let
Shouldn't
the
have done
marksman
that.
handle this!
Double Demon Fang! Destruction!
Sleep now! More for the stop!
I can carve through walls! I'm just getting started. It's time.
By the power of water!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Ferocious
I
Fury!
never miss!
Astral Blitz!
That's like you! Do it!
Yukara, I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
With this, I can become even stronger!
Right, here goes!
Savage roar!
Ferocious Fury!
Faster! Savage roar!
Wind astral energy! It's like trying to keep up with a wall! Mega Ray! Chinese Supernova! Mega Ray!
Roll now!
Annihilation! The flames
This
will
one's
roll!
mine!
Take this!
Mega Ray! Magic is do it!
Rimworld! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Azure Storm! Demon Fang!
Corruption!
Sonic Fury!
Now you see what I can watch
Demon
this!
Fang!
Wind astral
Double
energy!
Demon Fang!
Light astral
You picked the
energy!
wrong fight!
Savage roar!
Vacuum Blade!
1,000 gales!
Double
No
Demon
further.
Fang! Demon Fang! Double Demon
Now I'm
Fang!
in the groove!
Demon Fang!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
A whirling struggle!
Plasma Shot!
Winds of heaven!
Now I'm real mad!
Lunar corruption! Gemini Alpha!
The flaming side is yours
Vanquish
to be run
darkness!
free!
Glacial Spear!
Divine
Hurricane
There's always room for improvement.
Go no further! Our war race weakened!
That'll
bring you down! Too much to handle? Magic is there! Here's a healing arc!
Now you see what I can do!
Just with a blink! Sleep now! I'll be saving this one! Photon blast!
let free!
Here goes! Blah, blah, blah! Freeze Lancer!
In a bind? I really...
Blah, blah,
These
blah.
fists have got your name on them!
Sleep now!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Riddler! Demon's descent! Flashing fang!
Freeze Lancer! Now release that blah blah blah! In here, by the power of water! I'll be saving this one!
I'll finish you here and here!
Wind Astral Lancer!
Catch it out of this!
Photon Blast!
No! I won't give in!
Lightning Orb! Lightning Healing Circle! Thunder Blade! The chain between heaven and earth!
Not
Magic
today!
Let's do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Thunder Blade!
Great! Let me help!
Rising Alphen!
Freeze Lancer! You can
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Corruption! Not on my watch! Lunar Blast!
Fire support!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahnan. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dahnan from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dahnan or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zubos like that before.
How about with the stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword?
Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the Zubos, then we get some answers.
This one's mine!
All did you hear it now?
Demon Fang! Good song!
Raging Cascade!
You picked the wrong fight!
Vanquish Darkness! Roll! Mega Red!
Take this!
Annihilation!
Blue escape!
Now I'm in the groove!
Divine
Now you
Streak!
see what I can do!
Lunarongo!
I'll heal you all!
It's too much! Azure Storm! Can't end here!
Don't leave me!
No further!
That's fun!
I've still got some fight left.
Not done yet!
Raging
Double
Storm!
Demon Fang! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Celestial Runner! Healing Circle!
Thanks!
All finish you hear it now!
Searing Flame! Reload! Raging Storm! Searing Flame!
Dragon Form!
Flame of the Electric! Strike! Glacial Steel! Pierce Evil!
Too slow!
Ready!
All finish you hear it now! I'll smash you!
Orochi, the flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Here I go! But this one's mine! I never miss! Raging
Demon
Storm!
Fang!
Power!
Alpha!
Celestial Runner!
Ready?
Now! Alphen!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Here I come! Strike! Shockwave Flash!
May a thousand nails carry you to strike!
Sonic Stroke!
Pierce
Take
Evil!
this!
Got me down! Freeze
Strike it!
Laser!
Blending
Here
Kick!
comes something big!
Try to dodge!
Shattering all pieces!
Stay away from my friend!
I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss!
Not now, not ever! Fix this!
Still got some fight left in me!
Here we go again!
I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss! Celestial Runner! Ice Prison! Here's a healing art! First aid! Savage Roar! A change
Sonic
between
Thrust!
heaven and earth!
Rising Wyvern!
A wailing candy of lightning! I'm all stuffed up!
Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Divine
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Take this! Flame inside me!
Now!
Burn in hell!
And again! Savage Roar! Death Bomb! Where are you going?
Lightning Thrust!
In a vine?
Rising Snowflake!
Eruption! Raging Cascade! Power of Water! Annihilation!
No! It can't end here!
Don't
Now
give
you
up!
see what I can do!
I'll bring you back from Raging Cascade! Savage Roar! A world in trouble!
Not done
Winds of
yet!
Heaven! First Force! Healing! I'm almost impressed!
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away. Air Corinthian Spear!
Double Demon Fang!
Take her! It's about to strike!
Here, through all
Look sharp, everyone!
Magic is amped! Shield! More
Can't get out of this!
Rising Viper!
A whirling circle!
Internal penetration! Destruction!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Can't move!
Take this! Radiant Pierce! Lightning condemn! I'll bring you back from death. Where are you going? Do it! Run!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! Now it's just her!
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnagan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnagan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, You need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.